imagined yourself being one of the lucky people that retire before 50? Well, if you haven't, that's okay because many people normally don't. But you could potentially be if you are up to date on financial literacy tips. The majority of Americans don't get their financial advice from their parents and never seek out any sort of financial advice beyond that. Now, I assume the majority of people watching this video are young adults, such as high schoolers, undergrads, or recent graduates. This means we're all at the perfect age to begin learning our own financial literacy skills. I'm sure many of us have a job or some sort of income to pay for our everyday expenses. Now, involving school ends up being very expensive for the majority of people. Many people find themselves trying to stretch their dollar to the next paycheck, including myself at times. So what I've done to help myself and other people is I've gone and collected data from numerous sources, trying to give us an advantage in today's economy and try to better prepare ourselves for the future. Now you might wonder why I'm even looking into this information, but according to the NEFE, the National Endowment for Financial Education, 88% of teens/young adults don't feel confident in their financial knowledge. And with the Council for Economic Education only finding that 27 states require a personal finance class to graduate, I find that very concerning, especially since developing financial literacy early in the youth, especially budgeting, saving, and investing, gives us the tools we need to avoid debt, build wealth, and gain financial independence. This gives people an open and free future and helps them without having to worry about wavering debt, which I'm sure numerous of us have heard stories from family members or older people that have said similar things. To show damages of what a lack of financial literacy may cause are high interest rates, overspending, low savings, and delay on milestones such as buying a home or car or other big life milestone. Now, little do people know that a simple 50-30-20% budget rule will help you end up saving more and can drastically set up better lifestyle habits for you. A Consumer Financial Protection Bureau study showed that students that budgeted turn to credit cards 40% less of the time, especially for emergencies. With that being said, if you are to get any debt from a credit card, which I would not recommend doing, I recommend highly paying it off right after you pay with the credit card or making your payments on time so your interest doesn't build up. A tip as well is to get a budgeting app such as Mint, Good Budget, or YNAB. There are studies according to NEFE, as mentioned earlier, saying that college students that use budgeting apps save around $150 to $250 more per month. As well as budgeting is also smart to put funds into savings, with an estimate of college students having roughly around $300 to $500 put back into savings in case of emergencies. Now, if you wanted to invest that even more, you could look for a high-yielding savings account which can have 10 to 12 times more interest than normal bank saving accounts in banks. A website called investor.gov in the US, Securities and Exchange Commission's official website, it states that starting to invest in your early 20s can result in 2 to 3 times more wealth by the age of 65 than starting in your 30s, meaning that people in college and before can earn far more right now than what they could in the future, making it the perfect time to start understanding our financial situation. For example, if you were to invest $50 a month at age 18 with a 7% return, you would see about $120,000 return by the age of 65, versus if you start at age 28, you would see a $57,000 return at the age of 65. Now, both are a good increase, but one is far greater than the other with the return on top of it. Now, beginner-friendly advice I can give you is to invest with index funds, low-risk diversified Roth IRA, or investments such as Edward & Jones. It's a local one I can think of around where I'm at. You can also use micro-investing apps such as Acorns, Fidelity, Stash, and Employer 401k. Excuse me. Useful things to stay away from if you're not educated on them are day trading, crypto hype, get-rich pyramid schemes, and social media unregulated investment gurus. Now, I also recommend putting 10% of your paycheck back. Even if you put only a small percent back, it still builds a good habit. The NEFE also says people that ends up having automatic savings end up saving twice as much than they would if they were their savings in themselves. And my final tip that I could give to you, try spending less on everyday snacks or extremities. Skipping one $8 snack a day saves $240 a month and almost $3,000 a year. At the end of the day, financial literacy isn't about being rich, it's about being prepared, confident, and independent in your own financial actions. Today, things are more expensive than what they have ever been, and if we, the youth, don't have financial literacy, then I feel that it is detrimental to the U.S. economy in the future. I'm sure we'll all thank ourselves in the future for having these financial literacy skills. Thank you.